All right, good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, so today is January 29th, 2024. So let's look at what's going on with the S&P 500. So we are in a 3-day, 1 to 3 day balance range. This last 3 days right here, it's a little hard to see on this chart, but we have 1, 2, 3, with the point of control at 49. Right now it's at 49. Let me see, 49.16. So the rules say that when we're in a balance area, that if we break above, then we go with a break. If we break below, we go with a break, and any failed attempts to break out of that range are going to bring us back to the middle, to the point of control, which is right now 49.16. We saw that during the overnight session that we opened with a gap down, a little bit of a gap down. We started pushing lower, tried to test the lower side of the range, and we came all the way back here to the 49.16 area. So that's gonna be the case until the market has some more information to move to another area. But until then, everything inside this range is going to be choppy. Why? Because we have all this volume trading at these levels, and when you have a lot of volume, that means that a lot of participants have positions in this range. So when they need to adjust, get out, move, then is when we're gonna move out of this range. Now, what I showed you on the screenshot yesterday when I showed the composite profile, which let me see if I can pull it up here. If we look at the composite, this is without the overnight session, but it's about the same. We have this area is lacking a little bit of excess, so I have a target at 49.45 to repair that lack of excess. So in my view, and some people might see it differently, but in my view, until we don't really take this 49.45 level, I'm still gonna be thinking of this range as an imbalance. So for me to really go with a break, I want to see this level, the 49.45 break with volume, and start putting, leaving like a low volume area into a higher volume area higher, right? And if that's the case, then I'm going to target, the ultimate target is going to be 5,000, because that's a big psychological number. And if we double this range, we probably 5,000 is going to be within that range. So if we get above here and then we start pulling back, I'm going to target this again, 49.16, and then the other side of the range, 49.04. Ideally, what I think should happen is that because the bulls are still in control, I would expect that we're gonna try to shake the weaker hands and come back into this, retest this. We had this 2-day balance below, so maybe shake them out, start people thinking that we're going lower, trap some shorts, and then squeeze higher, break this balance to the upside. That's what I'm thinking. Now, does that mean that that's gonna happen? No, I'm gonna plan for all scenarios, right? So today, what I'm gonna be looking at is if we get above the overnight high and value area high, I'm going to target this little area with a high volume at 30. 49.30, and then look for a continuation to see if we can break the highs and hit that target at 45. In here, I'm not gonna trade much. So today's, I'm gonna wait a little bit, but today might be a good day to just play iron flat or iron condor in this range. If we don't get like a really big push at the open. And then on the, we have this weekly pivot, which always gets tested a few times back and forth. So I'm gonna watch this area. I'm gonna see if we come down here. I want this. This could be a quick move down, and then we find buyers quickly. So I don't know. We have a lot of references on the downside. We have the overnight low. We have yesterday's low, the previous day's low, another low here from the whole range. Then we have an untested point of control. So for a short, I want this 12 to break and the overnight open to be taken. But before that, the shorts are going to have a hard time going through all this volume. So the likely, what I want to do, the way I want to look at the short is we break the overnight low, then we retest it from the bottom, and then take a short down to test to get the overnight low, yesterday's low, 97, etc. Right? And then monitor for continuation into all these reference points all the way to 83.5. But I don't know if I want to take a short before we get to this level, right? If anything, if we try to take this yesterday's high or the 45 level, if we take all this and then we start reversing either around 10 a.m. or around 1:30 p.m., those are the two times that I would consider a short back to the point of control at 49.17, the 16. Does that make sense? So basically, wait. So I'm looking at longs, right? The longs are my preferred setups, right? For longs, I want this overnight to break, test this area. If by 10, right after 10, we start seeing that we've pushed higher all the way here, we start looking for a short, and then we see a setup for a short, then take a short back to 16. If that doesn't happen and we kind of like want to do one of those dripping higher, slowly, then I'm looking by 1:30, 2 p.m., looking for that reversal from here, and then all the way we could take this whole range back and then test this back to this area. And then the other scenario would be low, break this area, retest the overnight open from the bottom, right? I want to test it from the bottom, take a short, and then test this reference at levels on the downside. NQ, it's a little. I mean, it has a lot of. It looks like a little messy, in my opinion. But it's let me pull up this chart here. It's not messy, but it's not as clean as ES right now. We have all this like high volume areas, low volume areas, high volume areas. So it's like a multi-distribution profile. So, and we don't have the it's a little weaker, right? So we got this high, we had a strong rally, and then we started pulling back and making lower lows. So, and then these 2 days, which in ES, these 2 days were the 2-day balance, but this is coming, it's kind of like becoming like one whole range, right? So I marked here the low volume areas that I want to be looking at, right? So I want to be looking at in this area, right, which is the 17,590. I'm going to be looking for resistance. If we are not able to get above this, I will target this point of control at 17,535. And then here I'm going to be looking for support at 17,500, and same thing, target this area. And if we break this and we stay below this, then I'll be looking for this level at 17,475, right? And this is where this is some major support. And then on the upside, if we break 17,590, I'll be looking at this 17,620, a little bit of resistance here, and then test this point of control at 17,695. And then this one, 17,710. Man, this levels on NQ are hard. Like, I'm gonna just say the last 3 digits because but I think that's about it. We have a lot of economic releases this week. We have earnings. We have let's see, what do we have? We have earnings. We have JOLTS report. We have FOMC rate statement, rate decision. We have PMI. We have so much stuff this week. So for sure we're gonna get opportunity, and NFP, non-farm payrolls. So what I was saying this morning is, like, don't be in a hurry to chase any moves, because there's gonna be opportunity this week. So wait until you see clear setups in this area. You know, there's not gonna be much opportunity because you're gonna think it's going one way, and then it's gonna turn, and you're gonna get chopped out unless you have a very small size, a very clearly defined levels, and give your stops, like, you know, a lot of room to so that you don't get stopped out right away. But this is gonna be choppy. Look, I mean, you can see it right here. So wait a little bit, see how we open, and I'm gonna be talking through it as the day goes by and tell you guys what I see.